Most people completely misunderstand Stoicism. They think it means suppressing emotions, acting cold, pretending nothing affects you. But real Stoicism was never about becoming emotionally empty. It was about becoming emotionally stronger. Because life will always contain pain, disappointment, loss, uncertainty. And Stoicism teaches something powerful. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can control the way you respond. That changes everything. Now think about this carefully. How much suffering comes from situations themselves, and how much comes from the way people react to them? Many lose peace because they try controlling things outside their power. Other people's opinions, unexpected events, the past, the future, outcomes they cannot fully control. And this creates constant emotional exhaustion. Stoicism teaches the opposite approach. Focus your energy on what belongs to you, your thoughts, your actions, your discipline, your mindset, your character. Because once you stop fighting against everything outside your control, the mind becomes calmer, clearer, stronger. Now pay attention to something important. Stoicism does not remove emotions. It teaches mastery over emotions. There is a huge difference. A Stoic person still feels pain, still feels sadness, still experiences disappointment. The difference is that emotions no longer completely control their behavior, and that creates emotional stability, something extremely rare in modern life. Today, many people react instantly to everything. Every criticism creates anger. Every problem creates panic. Every discomfort creates frustration. But Stoicism teaches patience, awareness, self-control, the ability to pause before reacting emotionally. And this changes the entire way someone experiences life. Now think about this honestly. How many problems become worse because people react impulsively? How many decisions create regret because emotions took control in the moment? How much peace disappears because the mind constantly fights reality instead of accepting it? This is why Stoicism remains powerful even thousands of years later. Because human nature never truly changed. People still struggle with fear, still struggle with anger, still struggle with anxiety, ego, distraction, and emotional instability. And Stoicism offers a different path, not a perfect life, but a stronger mind, a calmer perspective, a deeper understanding of what truly matters. And maybe that is exactly what many people are searching for today without even realizing it. One of the most important lessons in Stoicism is this: your peace should not depend entirely on other people. But modern life pushes people in the opposite direction. Many depend on approval to feel valuable, depend on attention to feel important, depend on recognition to feel confident. And because of that, emotional stability becomes fragile. One criticism ruins the day. One rejection creates insecurity. One negative opinion changes self-worth completely. Stoicism teaches something different. Other people's opinions are outside your control, and allowing external validation to control your inner peace gives enormous power away. Now think about this carefully. How much of human anxiety comes from trying to control how others perceive us? How many people change their personality just to be accepted? How many abandon their own values because they fear rejection? This creates emotional exhaustion, because constantly performing for approval disconnects people from themselves. And Stoicism warns about this clearly. You cannot build lasting peace while depending on the reactions of everyone around you. Real confidence must come from internal alignment, from character, from discipline, from integrity, from knowing you are acting according to your values, even when approval disappears. Now pay attention to something important. Stoicism does not teach isolation. It does not teach arrogance. It teaches emotional independence, the ability to remain grounded regardless of external praise or criticism, because both praise and criticism can become dangerous if they control your identity. One inflates the ego, the other destroys confidence. A Stoic mind learns balance. It listens without becoming emotionally controlled. It reflects without becoming emotionally broken. And this creates enormous inner stability. something rare in a world obsessed with comparison and constant validation. Now think about modern social media culture. People compare their lives constantly. Their appearance, their success, their relationships, their status. And little by little, many lose connection with their own path because they become obsessed with how they look to others. Stoicism pulls attention back inward. It asks a different question. Are you becoming stronger internally? Because external image can deceive people, but your conscience always knows the truth. This is why Stoicism focuses so much on character instead of appearance, on self-mastery instead of public approval, on inner peace instead of endless comparison. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. The next lessons will explore Stoicism, discipline, emotional strength, and the timeless ideas that still apply powerfully in modern life. Now remember this, the moment your peace depends completely on external validation, other people begin controlling your emotional world. One of the hardest things for human beings to accept is this. Life will never be completely fair. Bad things happen unexpectedly. Plans fail. People disappoint you. Loss arrives without warning, and many suffer even more because they spend years fighting reality internally. They keep asking why things happened, why life changed, why situations became painful. But Stoicism teaches something powerful. Suffering becomes heavier when people refuse to accept what already exists. Acceptance does not mean weakness. It does not mean giving up. It means seeing reality clearly before deciding how to respond. Because you cannot think clearly while emotionally fighting reality itself. Now think about this carefully. How much energy gets wasted resisting things that cannot be changed anymore? The past, other people's actions, unexpected events, time itself. Stoicism teaches that peace begins when the mind stops demanding control over everything. This changes the way someone experiences pain completely. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a Stoic asks, "How should I respond to this situation?" That shift is powerful because attention moves away from emotional chaos and toward personal responsibility. Now pay attention to something important. Stoicism does not deny pain. Stoic philosophers experience suffering too. Loss, exile, failure, illness. They understood human pain deeply, but they believed something dangerous happens when emotions completely dominate reason. Fear creates panic, anger creates destruction, impulse creates regret, and many life problems grow larger because emotional reactions happen without awareness. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Pause first. Observe clearly. Control your response. Because while external events may not always be controllable, your behavior still belongs to you. And that realization creates strength. Now think about modern life. Many people panic quickly, react instantly, become emotionally overwhelmed by every problem. But Stoicism trains emotional endurance, patience during uncertainty, calmness during difficulty, clarity during pressure, not because Stoics feel nothing, but because they refuse to let emotions completely control their decisions. And over time, that creates resilience. The kind of resilience modern life desperately needs today. Because the world will always contain uncertainty, always contain discomfort, always contain situations outside your control. Stoicism simply teaches you how to remain steady while moving through all of it. One of the greatest battles in human life happens internally. The battle between impulse and discipline, between temporary pleasure and long-term peace, between emotional reaction and conscious control. And Stoicism focuses heavily on mastering this internal conflict. Because many people are not controlled by life itself. They are controlled by their own impulses. Anger controls them. Comfort controls them. Fear controls them. Distraction controls them. And without self-control, external success means very little. Now think about this honestly. How many regrets were created through impulsive decisions? Words spoken during anger, actions taken without reflection, choices made only for temporary satisfaction. In the moment, impulse feels powerful, but afterward, consequences appear. This is why Stoicism values discipline so deeply. Discipline protects people from destroying themselves emotionally. Now pay attention to something important. Freedom is often misunderstood today. Many believe freedom means doing whatever feels good in the moment. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. If emotions control your actions constantly, you are not truly free. You are being controlled internally. Real freedom comes from self-mastery. The ability to pause before reacting. The ability to choose reason over impulse. The ability to remain calm when emotions become intense. That is real power, and very few people develop it. Modern culture encourages immediate gratification constantly. Fast entertainment, fast pleasure, fast emotional reactions. People are trained to consume instantly, react instantly, and escape discomfort instantly. But Stoicism teaches patience, awareness, restraint, the understanding that not every emotion deserves immediate action. And this changes everything, because once someone develops emotional discipline, life becomes clearer. Conflicts decrease, regret decreases, mental chaos decreases. Now think about this carefully. A person who cannot control anger becomes controlled by anger. A person who cannot control desires becomes controlled by desires. A person who cannot control attention becomes controlled by distraction. Stoicism teaches that inner mastery creates outer stability, and this is why Stoic philosophy still feels powerful thousands of years later. Human beings still struggle with the same internal battles. Fear, impulse, ego, attachment, emotional instability. The world changed. Human nature did not. If this video is helping you understand Stoicism differently, subscribe to the channel. There's much more ahead about discipline, emotional strength, mindset, and the timeless wisdom that still applies powerfully today. Now remember this, the strongest person in the room is not always the loudest one. Often, it is the person who learned how to control themselves. Many people hear the word stoic and imagine someone cold, distant, emotionally disconnected from life. But true stoicism is far deeper than that. Stoicism does not teach emotional emptiness. It teaches emotional balance, because there is a difference between feeling emotions and being controlled by them. A stoic person still loves deeply, still experiences grief, still feels disappointment, fear, sadness, and joy. The difference is that emotions no longer completely dominate their mind, and that creates stability. Now think about modern life. So many people are emotionally exhausted today. Constant anxiety, constant comparison, constant overthinking, constant emotional reactions to things outside their control. The mind rarely rests, and because of that, inner peace becomes difficult to maintain. Stoicism offers another way to live. A calmer way, a more intentional way. A way built on awareness instead of emotional chaos. Now pay attention to this carefully. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming resilient. The ability to face pain without collapsing. The ability to face uncertainty without panic. The ability to face criticism without losing yourself completely. That kind of strength changes a person deeply. Because life will always test people emotionally. Relationships will challenge emotions. Failure will challenge emotions. Loss will challenge emotions. And without emotional control, many become prisoners of every difficult moment they experience. Stoicism teaches freedom from that internal prison, not by denying feelings, but by understanding them without becoming consumed by them. This is why Stoic philosophy focuses so much on awareness. Observe your thoughts, observe your reactions, observe your impulses. Because once you become aware of your internal world, you stop reacting blindly to everything around you. And awareness creates choice. Choice creates discipline. Discipline creates peace. Now think about this honestly. How many problems in life become worse because emotions completely take over? How many relationships break because anger controlled a moment? How many opportunities disappear because fear became stronger than courage? Stoicism teaches that emotional mastery changes the quality of life itself, not because life becomes easier, but because the mind becomes stronger. And perhaps that is what makes Stoicism timeless. It does not promise a perfect life. It teaches how to remain steady inside an imperfect world. And in modern times, that may be more valuable than ever before. Stoicism is not about becoming cold. It is not about suppressing emotions. It is not about pretending pain does not exist. Stoicism is about learning how to remain steady while facing life honestly. Because life will always contain uncertainty. There will always be disappointment, loss, criticism, fear, situations outside your control. And the Stoic mindset teaches something powerful. You may not control everything that happens around you, but you can control the way you respond. That realization changes everything. Because once people stop trying to control the uncontrollable, the mind becomes calmer, clearer, stronger. Stoicism teaches self-awareness, discipline, patience, emotional control, acceptance of reality, and perhaps most importantly, responsibility for your own mind. Not responsibility for the entire world. Not responsibility for other people's choices. Responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and character. And that creates inner stability, something increasingly rare in modern life. Today, many people are emotionally controlled by every external event, every opinion, every criticism, every inconvenience. But Stoicism teaches another path. Pause before reacting. Observe before judging. Control yourself before trying to control the world. Because real strength begins internally. If this video helped you understand Stoicism differently, subscribe to the channel. There's much more ahead about emotional strength, discipline, mindset, focus, and the timeless philosophies that still apply powerfully today. And remember this one last time. Stoicism does not remove pain from life. It teaches you how to carry it without losing yourself in the process.